After a successful weekend across the Bay and a few days of rest, thanks to the All-Star break, the A's are ready to kick off the second half. The Athletics are playing some fun and exciting baseball and are poised for a pennant race. Last weekend, the A's showed off their power and bullpen as they took 2 out of 3 from their Bay Area rival and are 1 win closer to possessing the latest installment of this interleague battle of the Bay, the Bridge. A's Giants next. Well, the second half of the season starts tonight, and we have a pennant race, and the A's are involved. It's also part 2 of the Bay Bridge series. Edwin Jackson's going to get the baseball tonight for the Athletics. It is the first of 3, the Oakland A's and the San Francisco Giants, coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Edwin Jackson will make his 5th start tonight. Ray's been pretty good so far this year in the 4 starts.
You know, back-to-back starts against the San Francisco Giants. He started against them over across the Bay. He tripped on the mound, said he'd never done that before. That was a balk, but he's been outstanding for the Athletics as he makes his 5th start for his new team, one of 13 teams that he's pitched for. But I don't know what happened the previous 12, but he's been outstanding for this ball club. A great slider, great fastballs. He says about every once in a while he'll throw about 96, 97. But he's been outstanding so far.
All right, so the A's come in 3 games back of that second wild card spot. What do they have to do in the second half? Dallas Braden has the answers, we think. Dallas.
I think the A's are the ones that have the answers, boys, and it's a matter of power. The power production. Keep swinging the bat. That's what the A's have done all season long. They've gotten power from multiple spots up and down that lineup. Mark Canha made his presence felt. Let everybody know the Bay Area was his home last time around out there in San Francisco. Stephen Piscotty has been rolling the pole just as good as anybody. And that bullpen, folks, with Lou Trevino and Blake Trinan spinning their magic and everywhere in between, the arms are getting it done. This has been a dynamic facet of the Oakland A's game. And frankly, in my opinion, the responsibility rests on the shoulders of the starting rotation to make sure that that bullpen and the effort from that lineup does not go wasted.
All right, let's hope not. Plenty of excitement tonight and plenty of excitement all weekend long as the A's and the Giants square off, both teams fighting for a playoff spot. We'll line up some first pitch right after this.
is brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares. No hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try the $5.99 Jack Spicy Chicken Club combo with toasted sourdough. New from Jack in the Box.
Edwin Jackson and the Athletics are set to go. Kelly Green tops. Must be a Friday night at home, as it is the first of three, the A's and the Giants. Let's check out the game time weather for tonight, presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. Very nice night. It's 74 degrees. A little bit breezy tonight, but pretty warm temperatures. Game starting half hour earlier tonight, and there will be fireworks after the game. Starting off what will be a very big weekend of baseball here in Oakland. Starting lineup for the visiting Giants. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Here it is: Duggar, Hansen, McCutchen, Crawford, Posey, Sandoval, Jones, Hundley, and Hernandez. That's the Giants starting lineup.
Edwin Jackson, a week ago tonight, he was pitching at San Francisco against these same Giants. Different pitcher on the mound for the Giants. He did get to hit in those games, or that game. 0 for 2. Picked up the loss in the game, but he only gave up a couple of runs. Unfortunately, that was just enough to get the loss.
Canna, Fowler, and Piscotty in the outfield for the A's. Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Olsen on the infield. Jonathan Lucroy is the catcher, and we are set for baseball as this huge crowd still filing in.
As we talk to the guys out in the treehouse in our pregame, we'll see how the fastball works for Edwin Jackson tonight, and how the hitters actually affect.
Yeah, that's an interesting theory, and it certainly makes sense that, heck, a hitter can lose his timing after 2 days off, let alone 4.
Yeah.
Duggar, Hansen, and McCutchen, the top three in the Giants order. And the second pitch of the game is popped up behind second base. Marcus Simeon grabs it, and that is out number 1. Umpires tonight. That's Pat Holberg. Brian Knight's at first. The crew chief Jerry Davis is at second, and Ryan Addington is at third.
And with this half-hour earlier start, Kipe, the sun is a little bit more prevalent to the right side, and the fly ball went up in the air. Jed Lowry, the all-star, didn't see it. Fortunately, Marcus Simeon had a better angle, was able to pick it up, but the sun's going to be tough tonight for a while, and tomorrow night even longer with the half-hour earlier than tonight.
Here's Alan Hansen, the second baseman. Switch hitter, hitting .283, 6 homers, 26 RBI. And a swing and a miss on a pitch that was way out of the strike zone, and it's quick 0-2.
And that right there is what you like to see from Edwin Jackson. Talking about getting to 0-2, 29% of his counts that start 0-1 have got to 0-2. For context, 56% league average. So he's got to do a better job of getting to 2 strikes and then putting guys away. That's been the name of the game for Edwin. He's done a tremendous job of getting there. It's about putting guys away.
Opponents 1 for 39 with 2 strikes. How about that? That pitch is high, and also Edwin Jackson again looking for his 100th career win.
Again?
Sitting on 99, and he pitched pretty well in San Francisco a week ago tonight.
But he got the win this year, his one win against a team that he's won 10 times against. That's the Cleveland Indians. But he has not defeated Cleveland at Cleveland. No decision. We got a loss in his last start.
He faced the Indians twice.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch. Hit in the air, shallow left. Canna coming in. Canna's got it. So 2 away. Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. So 2 outs. Last pitcher to notch their 100th career win with the A's, Brett Tomko, back in 2009, and we remember that. He was.
Well, you know, let's hope Edwin gets it tonight, because if he doesn't, the next start will be in Texas. That's where Tomko got his 100th, and don't want to wait too long. I'm sure Jackson does not want to wait too long.
First pitch, strike right on the outside corner to Andrew McCutchen, hitting .261, 9 homers, 40 RBIs.
you've been around as long as Edwin Jackson has, a little time difference there with Jonathan Lucroy, making sure they're on the same page. He caught him last Friday in San Francisco, but sometimes a pitcher has an idea what he wants to do. And if you've got the time in that both Lucroy and Jackson have in, you kind of defer to the pitcher in the case of being a catcher.
2-1 now to McCutchen.
Boss, I think the point you're making there is, as a veteran starting pitcher, you have to have an idea of how you're going to go about your business. The catcher, and then Jonathan Lucroy, he's done a great job already of game planning. It's about you being able to identify your strengths, the hitter's weaknesses, and attacking from there.
We'll see how he attacks McCutchen now with 2 strikes. 2-2 the count. Full shift on. 3 infielders to the left side for McCutchen. Outfield is straight away. Breaking ball rolled foul.
The unbelievable thing that happened, we see it sometimes, but not often, especially with the runner at third base. And this happened. He slipped, and he said because of his arm angle, he could not release the baseball just to roll it to the plate to avoid a balk being called. He looked like he was going to get out of the inning. Had a big smile on his face. First time in his career that had ever happened. I saw a pitcher break his cleats in the middle of a windup. Needless to say, he balked. But I've never seen a guy do that. But all he had to do was just roll the ball. But he said the arm angle just would not allow him to do it. Plus, he was shocked that it even happened.
Count stays 2-2.
Good thing also he didn't hurt himself. I mean,
exactly.
Balk is one thing, but you catch your cleats as you're delivering. That could be very, very dangerous.
Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, all on the left side. StatCast, powered by StatCast. So McCutchen called out on strikes, and a good first inning for Edwin Jackson. A's lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and here it is. Simeon, Piscotty, Lowry, Davis, Olsen, Chapman, Canna, Fowler, and Lucroy.
Derek Rodriguez, the A's did not see him last week in San Francisco, but he's got a proud papa. We know that. But Derek Rodriguez getting a chance to pitch at this level. 4-1 record for the right-hander, and he's done a good job. He pitched out of the bullpen one game too, I guess, because he was talk about him pitching last weekend against the A's. That did not happen. But pretty good pitcher with a good fastball, live fastball.
Facing Marcus Simeon. First pitch, 90 miles per hour, right in there for a strike.
Yeah, the good thing about tonight is seeing Buster Posey behind the plate.
Yep.
I would assume the injection, the cortisone shot that he got.
Cortisone shot in the hip.
Yeah. But the good thing, because being in American League Park, it is Hundley the DH tonight. You could think that Posey could DH and perhaps will before the weekend's over. But it's good to see him behind the plate.
0-2 pitch, high fastball at 94 miles an hour on 3 pitches. Simeon's gone. So 1 away defensively for San Francisco. It's Hernandez in left, Duggar in center, McCutchen in right. Jones, Crawford, Hansen, and Sandoval, with Buster Posey doing the catching.
No, Bob Melvin talked about being able just to kick back, relax a little bit. But there's sometimes, if you're on a nice winning streak, you're playing well, last thing you want is an off day, much less 4 days.
Piscotty hits one up the middle. Crawford scoops, throws, and Sandoval is able to dig it out. Close play at first. Looked like Crawford really could not get a lot on the throw.
Well, this speaks to the athleticism of Brandon Crawford up the middle, ranging to his left. He's got to make a difficult play here. Kind of catches that ball towards the center of his body line, forcing him to redirect his upper body, and that's why he couldn't get as much as he'd like to on that throw. But a heck of a job by Pablo Sandoval to get out there, get that glove up high enough to be able to take that throw. Not an easy play by Pablo on the back end.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. So 2 outs for Lowry.
See, Crawford's one of the guys who got a chance to work out.
That's true.
He was an all-star.
In front of a lot of people.
Exactly. But I think also you watch how far out in front this ball is thrown, which helps Pablo Sandoval. See where it bounces? I mean, if you're going to catch a ball, if you're going to throw a ball, make sure it's far enough out in front so the first baseman in this case can reach out and really not make a difficult play. It's not one of those little short hop scoops that he has to make. And, you know, we've seen guys on the left side. We've seen Chavez, probably one of the first I ever saw, where he would throw the ball down to get the short hop, or at least the long hop, from third base instead of airmailing a ball. But a great play by the all-star shortstop nonetheless.
1-2 the count to Jed Lowry. Sandoval is playing first night. Brandon Belt, the Giants' everyday first baseman, is on maternity leave. His wife had a baby, and he's expected back tomorrow. And that is why Belt is not here, and that is also why the third baseman is a young man by the name of Ryder Jones, who will probably be here just for tonight. So Bruce Bochy without, that's Ryder Jones, without his regular first baseman tonight. 2-2 to Lowry. Driven toward left, hit pretty well. Hernandez goes back though, turns around, makes the catch. So both pitchers sharp in the first inning, and we're scoreless after 1. Congratulations again to those 2 guys, Jed Lowry, Blake Trinan, the A's representatives at the All-Star game this year. Good looking family right there. Quite a game, huh?
Oh, I feel like home runs. I feel like offense.
Well, I was thinking, you know what? The All-Star game this year, 10 home runs, 25 strikeouts.
Oh, that's normal.
Baseball now, right? That one's hit high in the air to right field. Piscotty shading his eyes, and he's got it. Here's our Coors Light refreshing finish. Let's go back to Tuesday night. Blake Trinan at the All-Star game. He came in the bottom of the 6th inning. Retired Votto. Yelich.
How about this one? This is good. His second baseman, Jed Lowry, able to make the play.
And Charlie Blackmon. So he got 3 All-Star left-handed hitters. So nicely done by Blake Trinan.
I think one of the most impressive things, Camp, was whenever he was introduced, he was playing for the Nationals, and the ovation, the look on Jed Lowry's face, look at him like, hey, they love you here.
It's all good.
You know, it's great. So that was very, very nicely done by the national fans, recognizing the great first half pre-All-Star break that their former closer had. But let's hope the A's keep him for a long time.
Slowly hit to Chapman. Good pitch by Jackson. Got in on Posey. 2 outs. The final score was 8-6 in 10 innings. Jed Lowry had 3 at-bats and a walk. But, man, it was a crazy game.
But you think about it, 8-6, 14 runs total, 10 home runs. So what does that tell you about runners in scoring position? Probably 0. But big home runs, especially the Astros.
Every pitcher was throwing 98 miles an hour. Dallas, what'd you think of the game?
I absolutely loved every minute of it.
It was
if I'm
fun,
being totally honest. The home run derby was, yes, pun intended, an absolute blast. It was a home run of an event. And when you talk about the way the game is going, as Foss mentioned, you've got home runs. You've got high octane velocity on the mound. And what better place to have both of those items featured than right there in the Midsummer Classic, a ravenous fan base out there. It was an absolute electric factory.
And you know what, guys were having fun. I mean, listen, the game does not count anymore,
It's
which
an
I think
exhibition,
is a good thing. It's very much an exhibition game. You got, you know, Matt Kemp and Manny Machado. You know, they knew they were going to be teammates the next day. You know, it's fun. I think it allows guys to just really have a good time.
And it has changed. It's evolved over the years to the point of kind of when it meant something for pride, then it went to meaning something for the home field advantage of the World Series, and now back to, hey, you got the best of the best, and a lot of people, that's the guy you got to be happy for, because Jed Lowry was initially not an all-star. He was announced later, as we were in Houston when that happened, and couldn't be happier for him, because 34 years of age and first-time all-star, that's pretty neat.
And the 3-0 pitch at the knees, first strike. So 3-1 to Pablo Sandoval. Right at 250 is his batting average, 8 home runs.
Well, last Friday, Jackson retired the first 9 batters he faced before Duggar got the double in the 4th inning.
And it's a walk, so that is the first base runner of the ball game.
You know, I talked earlier about the timing. I think in a game like this, and maybe a couple of games as a hitter, you forget about everything but a fastball. And you think about a fastball, but on the other hand, from a pitcher standpoint, if he knows they're looking fastball, just like McCutchen got a breaking pitch last inning, first inning, that can change everything. So it's kind of a mixed bag in a sense of what a pitcher can do with his velocity and what a hitter might be doing.
So here's Ryder Jones, who takes a first pitch right down the middle for a strike. Shift on. Chapman playing the shortstop spot. Like those minor league charts, man. Although Jones played a fair amount in the big leagues last year, and he swings and misses, and the count is quickly 0-2.
There is no hiding you at this level. The book is out in 3A. They got that fax machine. They got email.
Hey, they got stuff from Ryder Jones probably in Little League, right? He was pulling the ball in Little League.
Yeah, but you know, the best, though, Chicago, and we had Nick Martini on, and he said, I can't believe this. They're shifting me. And what happened in Houston? They hit a ball straight away center.
High fastball again, but that time Jones lays off.
When you can see what Edwin's doing early on in the count, it's not necessarily horsepower, it's location, movement on the fastball. Later in the count, step on that gas, 94, 95, up in the zone, serving a purpose. Good chance they try to cut this in on the hands of Ryder Jones.
And a good pitch down and in. Jones swings and misses. Side retired. So walk, nothing left. Bottom of the second coming up. No score, bottom of the second inning. A's and Giants. This is what we're playing for, folks. The bridge.
The bridge. The real bridge.
That's awesome.
That is nice. Heavy, nice piece of steel from the Bay Bridge.
Real stuff.
It's heavy like it's real stuff.
So first year that a trophy is awarded to the team that wins the season series. And of course, the A's won last week 2-1. Chris Davis rips one to the gap. Ball is picked up by Hernandez, and that's a leadoff double. So good start for the A's here in the second inning as Chris Davis finds the gap.
Well, this has been the man who a lot of the offense has been centered around, and that's Chris Davis. Gets himself a first pitch heater right now, right down the middle. Katie, that's the wrong individual you want to miss location on. A's are cooking right now. Leadoff hitter at second. He'll take it.
Pitchcast brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. And here's Matt Olson.
You know, maybe Derek Rodriguez got in that frame of mind that everybody's time is a little bit off. But Chris Davis on top of it, and that also needs to be a little bit quick now to roll over on one. But, you know, Kai, this trophy, have you lifted it?
Yeah,
it's heavy.
Very heavy. Absolutely.
It's heavy. I mean, that's something to play for. I mean, make these 6 games meaningful. Now, give us the rules of how whoever wins it outright wins it, right? And there's
or if it's tied, if it's a 3-3 final in the season series, then whoever wins on Sunday, which would be the final game of the season series. So that's somebody's going to win it.
What does this say up here? It's turned around. I can't see.
Bay Bridge Series.
Bay Bridge Series. And whoever wins, they'll put
their logo will go up on top. Yeah, good stuff.
It's great stuff. So, celebration, a trophy presentation at the end of Sunday's game.
So there will be A's with the advantage right now, leading 2-1. Inside Olsen, 2-1 the count. So playing for the bridge.
But I think the A's would like to play for the bridge, but they'd also like to play and continue what they did prior to the break, and that is to continue winning. Both the A's and the Giants would like to continue winning because the Dodgers just improved themselves dramatically with a trade that was consummated.
Manny Machado is a Dodger. I don't think anybody is really all that surprised. I know it sounds like I'm just saying this now, but I kind of felt like that's where he was going to go all along.
Yeah, well, they've got it, and plus Seager going on the disabled list with Tommy John surgery
makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's perfect. And he wanted to play shortstop. He gets the opportunity.
2-2 pitch. And that one's hit high in the air to center. Duggar backs up. He's going to have a play, but it's going to be deep enough for Chris Davis to tag up, and he's going to go to third. So a very productive out for Matt Olson. Now the A's get a chance to get on the board. So Machado goes to the Dodgers. And how about Brad Hand, traded by the Padres, along with the sidearmer Adam Simber to the Indians in Francisco Mejia is one of the top prospects in all of baseball, but a pretty good trade all around for the Indians. They got Hand, who's under control for what, 2 more years after this year. Simber's a rookie.
And Hand was the National League reliever of the month in the month of June. Let's see, no, May, because the A's and the Padres met in June. They had the 2 there with Trinan and
the A's actually. They beat Hand and they beat Simber too, right? Didn't Lowry hit the home run off Simber?
Yeah, Piscotty tied it off Hand, the 2-2 fastball. Then in the 10th inning, it was Simber giving up the home run to Jed Lowry. And Simber also gave up a home run here to Chad Pinder.
And Chapman is hit. And Chapman drops the bat.
Well, he felt that. He's dragging his arm a little bit. Well, now the infield probably will move back, but Chapman with the fastball inside, and he doesn't move a lot. And Lasso got him right on the left elbow. That's not good. Trying to turn away quickly, but not quickly enough. And anytime on the left elbow with no protection, he'll feel it. Not already.
So now runners at first and third for Canna. Canna at 261, 12 home runs, 38 runs batted in.
The infield does move back up the middle. Actually all around on the third base side to second. Okay, just a continuation on the trade. How about Max Muncy? First of all, that guy that is with the A's, 21 home runs now in the All-Star Home Run Derby. He gave up number 13 to Manny Machado. So that Machado could wear 13. I said to Kurt Young, I said, you're 143, you're 41. Come on, man. You know, somebody's got to give it. It was a little bit different. Manny Machado, the Dodgers hope will take them someplace they haven't been since '88.
And I thought the Indians did what they needed to do, getting the 2 relievers. Dallas, what jumped out at you at those 2 big trades?
Well, one, it was obviously the Machado deal going over to LA, but I think about what sort of position the Dodgers are going to be in next year. Are they going to continue the pursuit for Machado, knowing they have Seager waiting and trying to get healthy? But then you go over to the Cleveland deal between Cleveland and San Diego, and you think about the Cleveland Indians identifying Andrew Miller a few years ago and what role they wanted him to serve come postseason time. And for me, that kind of raised that flag for Brad Hand. You know exactly how Tito Francona is going to deploy that man. Along with Simber, they're trying to shore up that bullpen. They know how important it is come postseason time.
And you're going to have Brad Hand for a couple more years where Miller and Allen are both free agents. So it's going to help them in the long run. That one is ripped to left field. Hustling over is Hernandez, a high backhanded play. But it's going to be a sacrifice fly as Chris Davis hustles home. And the A's have a 1-0 lead. So a very well-hit ball by Canna. He kind of tomahawked it. And Hernandez made a nice play, but the A's have the 1-0 lead.
You know, the best thing about this whole part right here was the fact this is fundamentally sound baseball. Leadoff double, Olson gets him over, and after the hit batter, Canna with a great at bat gets him in with the line drive to left field. And the best thing also for Chris Davis not to assume it's going to drop, stay at third and tag up. Canna starts post All-Star break just the way he finished. A hot hitter.
2 outs, and here's Fowler. And the first pitch shows bunt. It's outside. Well, tomorrow night here at the Coliseum is going to be a very special night where the A's will celebrate the 1989 World Series championship team, and a lot of the great stars from that team, and there was a lot of them, are going to be here tomorrow, and some of them are here tonight.
Yeah.
And we're going to have Terry Steinbach join us next half inning. It's always great to talk to one of the good guys. So actually the 4th inning he's going to stop by and join us.
Catchers are always early.
That's right. You got to warm up the pitcher.
You got to start warming them up early.
So 2-0 to Fowler. Good swing, fouls it straight back. So tomorrow night will be special.
Yeah, it will be.
It'll be special.
You know what's really special tonight, Cap, is look up and see Mount Davis without the tarps, because tomorrow night Mount Davis is open. And Mount Davis is going to be packed. That whole upper deck that was built primarily for football to enlarge the stadium has been tarped a lot, but it will be open, and a lot of people already bought tickets up there.
Open for business.
Yes, open for business and a sellout. So at least that area is supposedly sold, so that will be very nice.
Yeah, it was a little over 8,000 seats up there in that top deck, and they are all sold, so that'll make tomorrow night even more fun.
So if you're looking at that now, record it, because tomorrow night it will be packed.
And that one's hooked to right field, and that's a base hit. And Chapman will make it easily to third, so the A's have first and third, 2 outs.
This is what you want to see from Fowler. A patient AB, waiting for that breaking ball up in the zone. Talk about the approach from Derek Rodriguez. Likes to elevate the fastball deeper into the counts. Here Fowler gets that wrinkle up, gets the foot down, and then Chapman puts a bow on it, going first to third. You know he can move very well for a strong fella. And the A's, tell you right now, they continue to get these big hits with 2 outs, big hits with runners in scoring position. And to your point, Foss, they will pick up right where they left off in the second half, in the first half, excuse me.
So see if they can get one here with Jonathan Lucroy.
And for a hitter to get a hanging breaking ball, thank you very much, especially in the case of Fowler.
First pitch to Lucroy, right on the outside corner, first strike. Lucroy 306 with runners in scoring position. So he's been good in these spots. So it all started with Davis's double to left center field. Good execution by the A's.
Well, that's so important to be able to play the smaller type and fundamental baseball. Home runs are great, but the A's have hit a lot of them. But if you can get the leadoff double, you get him over, you have a couple of opportunities to get him in, especially the first one. And the Giants set up for the double play. They never got a chance to turn 2.
Inside corner call, the strike.
So there they are at the end of the dugout. Chris Davis started it. Mark Canha brought him in.
Running in on Lucroy.
It's amazing how Hansen at second base is kind of shading him to pull, almost like he's setting up for a double play, which there are 2 outs, but opens up a huge hole on the right side for the guy who likes to go that way. And Jonathan Lucroy, especially if Rodriguez throws him the fastball outside, or maybe tries to throw him a breaking ball, especially with 2 strikes, and he does not strike out a lot. Might be an area that he might shoot one to, at least try to.
0-2 pitch, and he got him with a fastball. Lucroy may have been looking for a breaking ball, but the A's get a run. A couple of hits, sacrifice fly, 1-0 Athletics after 2. A's with a 1-0 lead, top of the third. Let's go downstairs to Dallas Braden. He's with the manager.
All right, Skip, they put a nice little bow on the first half. What parting words did you have for the ball club as they head into the break?
Enjoy your break. You deserved it. We gave them all 4 days. We had a little workout here earlier today, but the mindset's not going to change for this team. It's just come out and win this game.
Now, heading into the second half, it's easy for teams that had the success that this team had to sort of rest on their laurels and come out with a little bit of fog. What was the message delivered today going into the second half?
I didn't really need to give them one. I mean, I don't think they have that bone, to tell you the truth. They just like to play. It's tenacious every night. It's 27 hard outs. You see it whether we win or lose. So as far as that goes, I don't need to say a whole lot.
Well, the excitement is palpable, no doubt. Thanks for the time, Skip.
Got it.
Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Dallas. This interview presented by Xfinity. So we always appreciate the manager stopping by to talk to us.
Palpable.
On Fridays.
Palpable.
It's a big word.
Yep, read the dictionary on the way in.
Boy.
Chapman scoops it up. And that's out number 1. So Nick Hundley is retired. So just a walk allowed by Edwin Jackson so far in the early going.
But I tell you what, guys, I took a cab into the town this afternoon after work in the city, and the cab driver, very excited about the Oakland A's, wanted to talk to me about the Oakland A's, not because they knew who I was, but because they were a fan. And they're saying, what do you think about the second half? Man, these boys are really swinging it, huh? They're asking questions about moving guys or guys coming in. And that was the reason for the usage of the word palpable, is because I could sense the energy in the conversation over the course of 35, 40 minutes with a very real, a very genuine fan who's excited about what's going on right now.
Pop up. Olsen over, maybe. Not quite. Well, coming into start of this second half, there's the West. The A's are 8 back of Houston. They're 3 back of Seattle. And, of course, you got to jump over Seattle before you jump over Houston. And anyways, Seattle is the second wild card team. So that is the team that the A's will keep an eye on probably for the next 2.5 months. The Seattle Mariners. So the wild card standings then. See the Yankees with the great records, Seattle, and then the A's. Tampa Bay 8.5 out. So really, right now it's 3 teams fighting for 2 spots, and the A's are right there.
I think one of the nice things to hear people talk about, and you look at the numbers, that there's 6 teams going to postseason. The A's have the 5th best record in baseball, which says a lot about it, and they're trailing. So I mean, it's what happens whenever you're playing well, but they just have to keep playing well. And you go back to 12, and everybody wants to compare that year to now. Well, the A's were 5 out with 10 to play, ended up winning on the last day of the season. You don't expect that to happen all the time.
So it all started on June 16th, and since then the A's 21-6. That's the best record in the major leagues, better than the Red Sox. So 2-2 the count to Gorkis Hernandez. He's 55-42. So game number 98. Lots of baseball to play in.
That's the biggest thing right there.
Yep. Check swing roller. Maybe the easiest play Matt Olson will have, and that's out number 2. Now, second half, Ray. A's have 65 games in the second half. That includes tonight. 36 at home, 29 on the road. So if you're into the home road thing, there's a little bit of a home advantage to the A's schedule, but the A's have been great.
Yeah.
Their record is better on the road than it is at home.
Amazing thing about this weekend series, the A's technically just completed a 10-game road trip last Sunday. 4-day All-Star break, 3 at home, then back on the road for 7. So it's really getting the road games out in the month of August going to be very, very good from the A's standpoint at playing at home.
A's will be on the road next week. We'll head to Dallas, Texas after the game on Sunday. Want to know the count to He's leadoff man Steven Duggar, and he takes a little bit low. So it'll be at Texas, and then next weekend at the Rockies. So that's never an easy series. Then A's will come home, play the Blue Jays, the Tigers, and the Dodgers, and then a weekend in Anaheim, and then after that the A's come right back for another long homestand. So lots of home games coming up for the A's.
Now, the A's have not been to Baltimore. They go in September. They won't see Manny with the Orioles, but they'll see him with the Dodgers.
Yep, that's right. 2-game series here.
Yeah.
And guys, when you think about the way that schedule sort of shapes up with Texas, Toronto, these are ball games in Detroit in the AL Central, the division that the A's have had a lot of success against this season. Those are ball games you feel and series you feel like you should be able to win and make up some ground, and heck, even maybe create some separation. You talk about the Rockies and going up to Colorado. I tell you right now, I like our boys' chances in that thin air.
Especially if they hit home runs on the road like they have been, because that is home run haven. Remember when Brandon Moss joined the ball club? Remember that captain? He came to Colorado. He was hitting them second every deck he could possibly hit them. So the A's have been hitting a lot of home runs on the road. They get a chance in Coors Field where the altitude and ball travels.
3-2 the count to Duggar, who popped out to short to open up the ball game. Slices that one foul. A high breaking ball from Jackson.
Look like they're trying to backdoor that cutter.
Got a golf grip, Steven Duggar. You see some guys do that, not a lot.
Just getting his golf swing down, that's all. Problem is you can't put too much pine tar in your gloves. You can't get the fingers separated.
And he got him off speed. Good pitch by Jackson. That's his third strikeout. And he has a 3-up, 3-down inning. Bottom of the third coming up. 1-0. Nothing. A's lead, bottom of the third inning, and Harry Steinbach has joined us in the booth as promised. Steiny, good to see you. Thanks for
good to see you.
So I was thinking, so you're sitting here, a big crowd. You see the A's and the Giants playing down in the field. It can only remind you of one thing. Right?
Oh, man, it's great. We got a bunch of our teammates sitting up in the sky boxes over there, but what a great memory for us. And, you know, what a great memory for the fans. I mean, for us to come back and you walk around the Bay Area and people go, hey, I remember that game. I remember game 1, game 2, game 3, whatever. You know, it's just always great to get back here.
Well, it's good to have you back.
What's it like being over in the suite? You mentioned Renee Latchman's there. Now, we all know that Latch is very loud.
Yeah.
What's that? I mean, how's the suite tonight with the boys over there?
Well, you notice all the windows are open, right? That's just to let megaphone mouth, words come out.
He's busting chops right now.
Well, I know I'm going to hear it when I get back there, but that's okay.
Still have any golf balls? Because I mean, that was one of the best things Latch ever did, where it was kind of a game that you had with your catchers that based on things that you did were golf balls. He's always coming to me and saying, give me some golf balls. I need help. I got some range balls for you. That's about it.
You know, one of the great things it did is it taught not only myself, but Hassie and I, we actually had competition, you know, to do the things right behind the plate, i.e. blocking balls, throwing guys out. He used to tease us because we had Stu, Mike Moore, Welchie, you know, that were all throwing fork balls. And he swore that we purposely called them with guys on third because if we blocked the ball with the guy on third, we got more golf balls.
That's great. Hey, by the way, was that Kirby Puckett to put you in the on-deck circle?
Yeah, well, maybe, but yeah. That was when the baseball was baseball back then, right?
Well,
now you can't really do that anymore.
I was going to ask you now. I think your wife Mary asked you, said, honey, have you ever had any concussions in baseball? How many do you think you had?
What?
Oh yeah, but that's it.
Put you into the broadcasting industry.
No, I get everything they do, but you know, and I'm not going to sit here and say old school we should have done this, but I honestly will say I think it's taken an element out of the game. Whether it's sliding into second to break up a double play, meaning that I was a slow guy. My job when I was on first, do whatever you can to break up the double play. If it's a wide slide, if it's a hard slide, if it's an aggressive slide, or if it's the right thing to do, your job is to try to break up that double play. And the way the game has gone nowadays, you just can't do that anymore.
2 outs for Lowry. So you guys will have a parade tomorrow around the outfield. So you'll get your parade,
That's
right?
it. We are looking forward to it. Yep. Unfortunately, missing a few players.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Rest their souls. But again, we're the people that are here and the memories that we have from that '89 team. Will live on for a long time.
Absolutely.
Bob Welch, Tony Phillips, Dave Henderson.
Absolutely.
Oh, and you called Welchie. I mean that. I remember when you and it was Stu and Welch and saved the bullpen for everybody else because they could go deep. I mean, there's no hesitation about them pitching deep in the ballgame.
They were fun to catch. I mean, the determination that Stu had, the success that Welch had. We got to throw Mike Moore into that equation as well. And those guys, they took the ball. They knew what they had to do to win. We had scouting reports. We had all the stuff, but more importantly is those guys adjusted during the course of a game. If hitters are sitting on their forkball, they want more fastballs. If they're sitting on fastballs, they want more splitters. But all three of those guys had a way to figure out how to get late into the game and turn it over to our beloved Dennis Eckersley.
Beloved man.
All right, when we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Terry Steinbach. Stick around. 1989 World Series. Pretty nice play by the Phillips. Eck heads up, had to cover. And you were in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, that still brings chills to me, man. I mean, every player out here, the ones you're watching now, the one you're going to watch tomorrow, everybody's dream is to do that right there. Ray, you got to do it, you know, and it is an undescribable feeling when finally, out of spring training, out of 162 games, out of playoffs and World Series, and all of a sudden you get that out. It's like, ha, finally.
But let me ask you this, because at the end of '88, when you guys lost 5, but how much were you thinking that, okay, that's over, we're going to get them next year?
I think it might have not been a day after we lost to the Dodgers, who beat us.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm never going to sit here and make excuses, but the Dodgers beat us. We went to spring training, and it was immediate. We got to get back there, and we got to do what we think we are capable of doing, which is win that World Series.
And that's exactly what it seemed like after Game 5, is that no big deal. We got to come back next year. It's kind of a stepping stone, but you know, I feel badly for Mr. Haas, because the late Walter Haas, because he lost in 5, swept the Giants, got swept, and he only got the benefit really one game, you know, for postseason. But
well, Ray, I want to go back to what he said. It was a big deal. I mean, losing the Dodgers was a big deal. I mean, you hope you get back.
No, you're right. You're right.
And I think if you look at that '89 World Series team, it's almost a perfect team. Yeah. I mean, when you look at the lineup, you want a speed guy at the top. Well, you had speed and power, and then you had just and then you look at the rotation, and you had the bullpen, left, right, great closer. You play defense. I mean, it really was as complete of a team as I think baseball has had in a very, very long time.
I can remember going to spring training in '89, and you know, normally in spring training there's 4, 5, 6 spots that people are battling for. I think we had one.
Sure.
We had one long relief spot in the bullpen that was open. That otherwise everything was concrete. Yeah. You know, barring any injury or anything, but we were set, and I tip my hat to Tony and Dunk, you know, and the whole staff. We were focused, you know, and we were upset with what happened in '88, and we had a mission to do in '89.
Yeah. No, and I'm not discounting the '88, but it was nice to see the team come back in '89 the way you guys did after losing it, because it's devastating, because you never think that you're going to go back. You know, you go to the World Series and you lose in 5, you say, uh-oh, then here we go, we're going to lose and not go back again. But you guys went back to back to back, you know, and you know, to be able to do that was pretty accomplished.
Yeah, and I think the players or at least the players that we had were realistic. And what I mean by that, they knew there was a window, you know, with free agency and the age of players and everything else, that we had that window that if we were going to accomplish something special, it had to happen, you know, within that window. And I tip my hat to all my teammates and coaches, because we made that happen. Yeah. And it is so much fun to be talking to you guys about that '89 World Series. It's even more fun to be sitting out there with our teammates talking about what happened in '89.
All superstars. And you guys were. You had a great team. A great team. What was it like, the unfortunate earthquake after Game 2, during Game 3, but the 10 days that you guys had off, how important was it for what Tony did and the staff did to you players during that period of time?
It was extremely important. You know, we could probably talk 2, 3, 4 innings about that, but I think the best thing that the A's did was send us back to Arizona and say, okay, look, we are definitely starting on day 10. You know, we're going to resume the World Series. Tony brought us back down, or the A's brought us back down to our spring training site. They said, boys, let's refocus on what we have to do. Let's get back into tune. Let's not lose sight of what our mission is. And it was so beneficial, because during that point, everybody got refocused, and not to diminish the catastrophe that happened here. Right. You know, the humanitarian things, the deaths, the destruction, everything. But for us, as you mentioned, Ray, '88 was extremely important, because we felt what it was like to lose. We felt that burn. And so for us to finally put the earthquake aside and get back to playing the game of baseball, which the commissioners said, what better way to show the country that we can overcome the catastrophe that we had? We have to play this World Series. And so to resume Game 3 in Candlestick with all the ceremonies, the first pitches to our first responders and everything.
So you got when you were getting ready to play Game 3, pregame, you knew that this was the right thing.
We knew 100% it was the right thing, not only for the community, but let's say personally, professionally, this might be our window to finally do something special.
Yeah.
2 outs here in the top of the 4th with McCutcheon at third.
Not too bad to have Dave Stewart start the World Series, though, huh? Not only game 1, but also 3.
Hey, knock on wood, man. I was happy as could be. I had Dave Stewart game 1, Mike Moore game 2, Dave Stewart game 3, Mike Moore game 4. That's a pretty damn good staff right there.
2-man staff.
You were going to be fine whatever happened.
Oh, we were going to be good. Everything was good.
Yeah. And you know what's great, the stare that Dave Stewart had, that he went to spring training and trying to teach the guys to stare, and it's hard to do because talk about somebody focused, and it seemed like he was 8-0 every April because you guys got off to such great starts in April, and it seemed like Tony would say, let's get to 90 as quickly as possible, let everybody chase us, and that's what you guys were able to do with those great teams.
And Stu is very special, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we all got to see it, you know, 20, 20,
Yeah,
20,
right.
20,
4 in a row.
and his stare. I mean, and anybody that knows Stu, that's not him.
No,
you know,
no.
but
Nicest guy in the world.
Yes, when he took the mound, he was focused on what he had to do to give our team a chance to win.
So this ball game is going to be tied on the 2-out RBI single from Buster Posey.
Tough man to pitch to because he can do this. They say his home runs are down, but the bottom line, he puts the ball in play and drives in runs with 2 outs, and he does it here. And that's just him. I mean, runs batted in probably. You had one swing of the bat, 35 and 100. For your last one with the Athletics. You know how important driving runs are. You know, we were talking, Steiny, and you were a great catcher. You played in the All-Star game. What was it like coming back after? The time off, you know, because these guys are experiencing that with 4 days off.
Yeah, I mean, you know, especially the MVP year, you know, in '88, it was extremely special with all the circumstances that went into it. And I remember I started the first game after I came back, and by the 5th inning, Tony comes up and says, "Hey, we're taking you out," and I'm like, "Well, God, what did I do wrong?" You know, and Tony Dunk looked at me and says, "You're fried." I mean, all the emotions that go into the All-Star game, the 3 days, the travel from here to Cincinnati back, the interviews, the late night and everything. It was, I mean, it was definitely what I needed to do. You know, just get a break, a breather, and get back into it, you know, the following day.
But that was 3. These guys have 4. We talked about timing. How hard is it to take a day, much less 4, for some of these guys to have any kind of timing coming back from it?
I think it's split. If you're hot, you hate the All-Star break.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
You know, if you're on a roll. But on the flip side, you know, if you're in that 1 for 10, 2 for 20 stint, man, do I need this break. I need to recharge the batteries and forget about that end of the first half.
And you don't care if timing's off or not.
Let's start the second half. Yeah.
Well, you had a great career, and to go back to New Ulm, Minnesota, following a wonderful career in California. I'm sure your wife Mary is extremely happy to get out of California.
She actually loves California.
I know she does.
mean, we
How
all
can you
tease
not?
her. I tease her. You guys tease her, and she wears it well. But you know, Oakland's been great, and people always ask me, you know, where's home, and obviously it's Oakland, and you know, I'll tell a quick story because when I was coaching with the Twins, one of the most memorable moments is that when I walked back into the Coliseum after X amount of years of being gone, the fans, the guards, "Oh, Terry, good to have you back," and all this stuff. But more importantly, Mary comes in later, you know, to watch the game. And the ushers and the ticket people are like, you know, kind of going to her, "Mrs. Steinbach, it's great to see you again." I mean,
That's great.
You know, the fans and people of here have just been fantastic. And you know, this will always be home, and the memories are here, and it's nice that the A's bring us back and get to experience, you know, a night like tonight.
Well, since there's a foul ball, we're going to have to let you go back to your group. But the Haas family. How special was Walter Haas and Wally and Roy Eisenhart? I mean, an era of time that, you know, really had to be special for you guys.
See, when we talk to other teams, you know, and other people from other teams, and we say the relationship that we had with our owners and our GM and everybody, and we tell them that they would come to spring training and they would come to the cage, and Mr. Haas would walk through the locker room and just seeing how you guys are doing. It's kind of unheard of, you know, and we explain that. And when you say family, and you hear family thrown out there so many times in baseball, that truly was, you know, a family from top to bottom, and it was just such a great experience.
Well, Steiny, thanks for stopping by. It's always great to talk to you. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, all right?
Thank you very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you, buddy.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
We got a 1-1 game, bottom of the 4th inning between the A's and the Giants.
Does it surprise you that Buster Posey, I mean, it's amazing. It's like the magic one. You know, and I'd say, I always think of John Oliver, and everybody said, let him hit more home runs. Why? You drive in runs.
Yep.
That's all that's important. And Posey's one of the best at doing that.
So how's Rodriguez with shutdown innings? Pretty good, 9 for 12 as he faces Davis, Olsen, and Chapman. Here's Davis. Doubled and scored in the 2nd inning. Scored the A's lone run so far. Dallas, where were you when the earthquake hit right before Game 3?
I was getting yelled at by my mother.
Not you. You were a good kid.
For what she thought was me messing around behind our television that had a tall house plant, and the house plant started moving, and she's yelling, "Hey, get out from behind there. What are you doing? The ball game's about." And I came bebopping in from my bedroom, and she's going, "Oh, okay, I guess that's not you behind there. It's time to go."
Time to go.
So we bolted out of our top floor apartment and headed down the stairs and got as far away from buildings and structures as humanly possible. And I know that wasn't probably the right thing to do. You find a door jam, you find a doorway,
Doesn't work.
and hunker down. But my mom said, "To heck with that,
That's
we're getting
right.
out of here."
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So I will remember that forever.
Toward Hernandez, and he's got it. So that's out number 1. Well, tomorrow night will be the big celebration of that 1989 World Championship team. And folks, there's going to be a lot of people here. There's a decent chance that the A's may set the all-time Coliseum baseball attendance record. So we're trying to help you out here. Arrive early.
Yep,
that would be
that's a good
the
idea.
simplest and best advice. The gates are open at noon. And then you want to be in your seat for the pregame festivities, but get here early, and as always, take public transportation if you can. It just makes things a little bit easier. Listen, it's going to be a packed house. You're going to have A's fans. You're going to have Giants fans. Just have a good time.
That's all
just
that matters.
relax, be patient,
And enjoy
don't
the
take
night.
it too serious,
That's right.
and have fun.
Enjoy the night. Absolutely.
And remember, up on top of Mount Davis, where it is sold out, that will be full tomorrow night, folks. And a limited food menu up there, but It's all $2 and it's cash only.
Cash only.
So just remember that if you are one of the lucky folks that's going to be sitting up there holding your breath because it's so hot.
That's right. I was going to say, if you've got an extra oxygen tank, feel free. Go ahead. The air gets a little thin up there.
Just bring your skis. Since it is Mount
Davis.
That's right.
I see you working, boss.
Now, it is high. I tell you what, the Mount Davis, that level is for football.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to get a great view of the football game.
Yeah.
Now, is it a great view of the baseball game? Maybe not. But
second base forward.
That's, you know what? It's going to be a night you won't forget. So the Coliseum attendance record, Ray Fosse, 55,989. It was set on June 26, 2004 against the Giants.
Right.
Now with Mount Davis open, and that's what, 8,100 extra seats, I believe, give or take.
Right.
So the total capacity with Mount Davis for baseball is 56,782. If the A's can get that, they will set the all-time baseball attendance record here at the Coliseum, and they have a chance to do that tomorrow night. So there's not a lot of tickets left.
Yeah.
You can check it out, try to squeeze in if you want.
And just be here to hear the great Dick Callahan say, ladies and gentlemen, you're part of a record. That would be very nice to hear from the great one.
But again, just come, be patient. Lines are going to be a little longer than usual, obviously. Security lines outside is going to take a little longer. So I guess what we're saying, Ray, is come with a good attitude.
Yeah, but that's the biggest thing, and just enjoy it, because you do have two teams that are, I mean, you're going to have probably, I wouldn't say a partisan crowd, because you have a lot of Giants fans here, A's fans. We saw it over across the bay last weekend when things happen for whatever team it was.
Right field, McCutchen goes into a slide. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. Nice play by Andrew McCutchen. So that is 7 in a row retired by Derek Rodriguez.
Brought to you by T-Mobile. How about 3 punch-outs, 3 strikeouts by Edwin Jackson, and here's one of them. That was the first one in the first inning, and then Jones, and then you got Duggar as the third one. So for T-Mobile, built for baseball, there is your 3 strikeouts from Edwin Jackson so far in this game. Walked, gave up a 2-out base hit to Buster Posey. 5th inning, pitch count's good. Trying to get 3 more quick outs.
Jones, Hundley, Hernandez, the bottom 3 for the Giants. 1-1 top of the 5th. White Sox and the Mariners are underway up in Seattle. It's a 1-1 game in the 2nd inning. That's Shields for Chicago and LeBlanc for the Mariners. So, as we will do the rest of the year, we'll keep a close eye on that game. Mariners have lost 4 in a row and 7 out of 9, so they kind of limped into the All-Star break just a little bit.
I think Terry Steinbach said it best. They could not wait for the 4 days off. Start fresh tonight
And that one down the right field line, hit well, and it's off the foul pole, and that's a home run for Ryder Jones. Clanked right off the foul pole, pretty high up on the foul pole.
Yeah, what if he's only in for one game? That's very impressive. You get behind, that's what happens, unfortunately, because he got the fastball, he didn't miss it. The way it left his bat looked like it was going to hook way foul, but it just never had a chance because it was hit so hard. And off the top, might have gone in the second deck.
I can tell you from where I'm sitting here, I fully expected that ball to continue to hook foul, but to your point, Foss, that thing just continued to climb, and I can probably guarantee that thing makes it into the second deck. That was not cheap.
But that reaction by Edwin Jackson just proves one thing, that he thought it was going to hook foul, but it just stayed straight.
In the dirt, 1-1 to Hundley. The Giants not a big home run hitting team. They're the third fewest home runs in the National League. They'll probably need to hit some more if they're going to stay in contention. Hundley swings and misses. Giants are 4 games back in the division and 4 games back in the wild card, but only 2 games over 500. And at some point they'll need to make a move, otherwise time will run out. A's have made their move, and it's got them right in the thick of it. Finishing up on the Mariners, Ray, they will actually host the Giants Tuesday and Wednesday.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly.
Seattle is going to play 12 out of 15 at home to open up the second half. So they have a nice stretch of home games, does the Mariners, and they have been good.
And they've been drawing well, which that hometown Northwest crowd should motivate them.
Yeah, they're 31-17 at home, so that's something to keep an eye on in the next couple weeks. Mariners home a lot. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Strikeout number 4 for Jackson.
Well, our friends at StatCast have compiled the numbers. Exit velo 112 off the stick, 26-degree launch angle, almost 430 feet away from home plate. Could have been more if that pole didn't get in the way.
StatCast AI powered by AWS. So one away. Here's Hernandez. Hernandez grounded out weakly toward first. See, when the Mariners gave Scott Service a contract extension, well deserved. Scott Service in his 3rd year as the manager up in Seattle, and he's going to be there for a while.
Brought in by Jerry DiPoto when DiPoto left the Angels, become the general manager. He and Scott Service were together and brought him in to manage, and he has done a good job.
Hernandez showed bunt, pulls the bat back, and now it's 2-0.
Jackson didn't give up a home run in San Francisco. However, he gave up 2 runs, and that's when he left the game, trailing 2-1. Unfortunately, the A's could not score more than just the 1 run. And really, unfortunately, it was the last game pitched by Santiago Casilla, as he was designated for assignment and just recently released. So we wish him the best.
He called the Bay Area home for a long time.
Oh, yeah, between here and across the Bay, absolutely.
Two and 1 to Gorkis Hernandez. That one's driven to right center. That's hit pretty well. Piscotty back, and Piscotty on the warning track makes the catch.
MLB.TV is now available at a lower price for $82.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer. $82.99.
That's a good price.
2 away for the top of the order, Stephen Duggar. Duggar with a pop out and a strikeout. He was tough on the A's last weekend.
Maybe it's that golf grip because he had a lot of balls the opposite field, which maybe that would be no slice, just straight on shot. Right? Played it down the middle. It's working for him.
Taps that one foul. Astros leading the Angels 2-0 in the third down in Anaheim. Keuchel and Skaggs, a couple of good left-handers squaring off in that one.
Keuchel hasn't necessarily been himself this year, but Tyler Skaggs has done an outstanding job for Los Angeles.
In the dirt. Houston, unlike Seattle, Houston is going to be on the road a lot. They got 13 out of 16 on the road coming out of the second half. So the Astros will be in Anaheim, and then they will go to Colorado Tuesday and Wednesday, just one of those quick 2-game series. So that's what's coming up for the first place Houston Astros. You have a 5-game lead over the Mariners. 2-pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. Nasty pitch by Jackson. Home run by Ryder Jones. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Giants leading 2-1. Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the Oakland A's into your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. So the A's trailing 2-1 in front of a big crowd tonight on Friday night. Second half starts. And Derek Rodriguez has settled in, so the A's got to try to break up his rhythm. He's retired 7 in a row. 55 pitches so far. So the pitch count's not too bad.
You know, guys, I spent this all-star break out in Washington, D.C. with my folks from Barstool Sports, and we had Derek's father on our radio show. That's right, Mr. Pudge Rodriguez, the great Hall of Fame backstop. And he lamented about Derek's ability to maintain poise and composure out on the mound. And I jokingly told him, well, he probably had a good teacher, probably had a good idea of how to control those emotions, take a step back. But he said, I asked him, what was the most important piece of information or wisdom you could impart on your son as he makes that trek to the major league level? And he said, strike one.
Yeah.
Strike one. And I thought that was just really good to hear from a Hall of Fame catcher, because so many times you get caught up in pitch sequencing, velocity, different approaches. And for him, he simplified it for his son and said, the best pitch in baseball, strike one, get ahead. And I think that has really sort of carried over for Derek in his approach and his ability to calm down. Because not every time you throw that first pitch, it's not a strike every time.
I think one of the best things a father like Pudge Rodriguez could give his son is say, don't be a catcher. I mean, you think about trying to follow in your dad's footsteps. You're always being compared to your dad. So the best thing probably for him to be a pitcher, and if he can throw strike one, that's a major accomplishment.
And he gets Canna swinging for his 4th strikeout. So highlights from Derek Rodriguez's father.
Well, I remember one thing. Late Johnny Oates is a manager, former catcher, who said to the pitching staff, don't worry about holding the runners because Pudge will take care of things that you're not going to be able to do. So concentrate on the hitter, let Pudge do the throwing, and he did it better than anybody when it came to throwing out base runners.
One away for Fowler. Well, his son it's an interesting story. He was originally drafted by the Minnesota Twins as an outfielder, and he played his first 3 professional seasons as an outfielder. It's the resume for his father, Pudge Rodriguez. But then in 2014, Derek Rodriguez said, you know what, I'm gonna try pitching. Yeah. And he was left unprotected, and he signed a minor league contract in November with the Giants, impressed him in spring training, and he's pitching very well for them. A lot of different ways you can get to the big leagues.
Absolutely. Chris Hatcher, his reliever, was a catcher in the big leagues, and he became a pitcher. Right. So I mean, it does change. Sometimes those curveballs and fastballs that you can't hit, you want to try to throw yourself. Somebody else. But, you know, another thing, and it happened to be the Giants in that game in Miami when Pudge was playing for the Marlins, when again the late Johnny Oates said, don't ever block home plate because I don't want you to get hurt unless it's game 7 of the World Series. Well, that was game whatever in the championship that took him to the World Series, and
he held on.
He held on as JT Snow hit him hard, and that was it.
86 miles an hour on the outside corner, and that's back-to-back strikeouts.
And changing speeds is no doubt another nice little piece of information that his dad passed along to him. See the changeup grip here off the 4-seamer. Just enough lateral movement. Fowler runs out of bat. Not a ton of vertical movement, so that's something to pay attention to.
So here's Lucroy. In Dallas, he doesn't appear to have any one pitch that stands out, but he's got 4 he throws for strikes.
And that's the key to the game right there, is if you don't have that one wipeout devastator that you can go to, not only for strikes early, but for the put away late, paired with command, you have to have the ability and the confidence to throw your entire mix for strikes if it's not going to be outstanding at any one point, and that's exactly what Mr. Rodriguez has going for him.
That curve misses well high. 2-1 to Lucroy, who struck out in the 2nd.
You know, at times that's where guys like Rodriguez can find themselves in trouble. Behind in a count, trying to throw a pitch a little nastier than they need to. Things start to spin. Good time to take advantage.
Little pop-up foul territory. Sandoval hustling over, and he goes into a slide. He just could not quite get it. I think there's always a little hesitation with a visiting first baseman or third baseman because they feel like, wait, I've been running way too long, and there's got to be something coming up, and
ball didn't hit the warning track.
Just could not quite get it.
They used to play at a place that had a lot of foul territory. Candlestick was similar to this. As they played football, you expand them for football games.
A line foul. Yeah, I would say Candlestick probably had maybe the equivalent to this with foul territory.
And you can see the difference in the new park for the Giants because it is baseball only, where Matt Williams played. Candlestick.
Line to right. McCutcheon coming in. McCutcheon slides. He caught another one. A couple of nice plays by McCutcheon in right field, and we are headed to the 6th. 2-1 San Francisco.
California is brought to you by Kelly Moore Paints. Go where the pros go. Kelly Moore, the painter's paint store.
Like those jerseys. 2-1 Giants lead, top of the 6th inning. We allowed that gentleman in. I guess he had a ticket, right?
We just used him for target practice for BP.
All right. Hanson, McCutcheon, and Crawford here in the top of the 6th inning. Edwin Jackson, 76 pitches through 5 innings. He's got 5 strikeouts. First pitch, curve, first strike.
Well, the one thing pitchers pitching in this weekend series, unlike last weekend, if you're pitching well enough, you can stay in the game. You don't have to come out for a pinch hitter. You don't have to show whether you can hit or not. I guess tomorrow night we'll see if Bumgarner puts himself in the lineup to hit.
That's right. Bumgarner pitching tomorrow night against Trevor Cahill. And then Sean Manaea and Johnny Cueto on Sunday. That's your pitching matchups for the rest of the series. And then on to Dallas, Texas. Swing and a miss and a pitch in the dirt. Well, Hanson is retired.
You start moving the baseball around like Edwin Jackson has, you start getting ahead of guys, you create a level of unpredictability about yourself. And we talked about Edwin Jackson and the success rate once he gets to 2 strikes, being able to put guys away. And this is a fine example. Lucroy doing a heck of a job here. That ball's going to kick even harder to the right. So for Luke to not try to swing his body out, knew he really only had one option there. That's glove work right there.
So 1 away and 6 strikeouts for Jackson. Here's McCutcheon.
One thing that
a 1-out double. That was the first hit for the Giants in the 4th inning.
But Lucroy, unlike what happened in Houston, where he hit the back of Bregman as he's running first base, when he blocked the one with 2 strikes here, he took a couple of extra steps towards the mound to make sure he had a better angle to throw to first base, which, talk about speeding up a game. Evidently that happened in Houston, because normally if you have the time, you want to take as many steps as you can to create a better angle to throw to first base instead of worrying about hitting the runner.
Oh, pitch bounced to Chapman. He backhands it and throws just a little high, but Olsen's able to keep his foot on the bag.
Speed of McCutcheon, he can get down the line to the point that Matt Chapman had to throw a little bit quicker. And he has a cannon, but maybe seeing where McCutcheon was, but the tall Matt Olsen able to reach up, keep his foot on the bag.
Ooh, hang on.
See, if Olsen misses that, it's in the seats. Because that ball is thrown hard. That might be the only time all first half that Olsen's had to stretch that far with the Matt Chapman throw.
2 outs. Crawford takes a breaking ball low. Fly ball to right and a ground out for Crawford. 3 hits for the Giants, 2 hits for the A's. There has not been an error made in the game.
And for 2 arms who aren't going to necessarily overpower individuals, there's been some good swing and miss. Edwin Jackson got himself 6 punch outs.
A pitch runs off the plate, and now it's 3-0. Buchter starts to throw.
98 pitches the last 2 starts for Edwin Jackson. His first, of course, pitching on extra rest on the 7th day. Third 3-0 count that he's had tonight. Nobody swung 3-0 yet. Yet.
And he does, and he hits a little bouncer right to Olsen. And that'll do it. So good inning for Edwin Jackson. He's retired 6 in a row. Bottom of the 6th coming up.
By the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
2-1, Giants lead bottom of the 6th inning. The A's have been so great, and were so great in the first half in the latter part of games. Not only their bullpen, but offensively. And it's a wonderful combination when you have a terrific bullpen and then you score lots of runs late in games.
That's why I think after 6 innings, we'll see if Buchter gets back up to get loose for the 7th inning, but it may be one of those 6 innings being enough tonight. But the good thing that Jackson has done so far in the first 6 innings to keep it at just a 2-1 game. Unfortunately, in the game that he pitched last Friday, he left 2-1, but the Giants ended up scoring late, as the A's had been doing.
You know, we talked about at the top of the broadcast how I felt that the starting rotation at some point in time was really going to have to, I guess, put their foot down in a sense and say, you know what, we can get to the 7th inning. We can get through the 7th inning. Our bullpen has done a tremendous job of making sure that when we hand the ball over to them, we have a chance to win the ball game, or they've put the nail in the coffin for us at times. So I think the starting rotation, this is a great opportunity for Edwin Jackson to let Bob Melvin know, hey, I can get deeper into that pitch count, I can go above 100, and I can get you the 7th inning taken care of, and you can hand it over to a very, very dynamic 8th and 9th inning guys.
Popped up on the infield. It's going to be Crawford who grabs it. So Marcus Semien is 0 for 3. Hey, NBC Sports California has compiled the A's top 50 memorable moments in Oakland. We want the fans to pick the most memorable moment tonight. Dallas Braden's perfect game in 2010 versus Sean Manaea's no-hitter earlier this year. Uh-oh. What do you think, folks? Vote through our A's Twitter poll. The play that wins advances to face the next memorable moment. And, of course, Dallas Braden's very memorable perfect game has been on a roll for like a month and a half now. So go right there. NBCSportsCalifornia.com or Twitter at NBCS Athletics.
Ross Grimsley there with Scott Hatteberg showing exactly what the walk-off really means. Because he was walking off dejectedly after Scott Hatteberg hit the home run to give the A's 20 consecutive wins.
0-2 the count to Stephen Piscotty, who was grounded out to short and to second in his 2 at-bats. Straightaway defense for Piscotty. Yeah, that was a walk-off on him.
Yeah. Well, and the master, the guy who came up and coined the phrase the walk-off, is here, Dennis Eckersley, but he did not mean it to celebrate at home plate. It was the ejection of the pitcher walking off the mound.
That one is lined toward the left field corner, fair ball. Hernandez picks it up, and another double for Stephen Piscotty. That is 25 doubles. Earlier today, a couple of guys from the 50 Greatest A's players got their jerseys. They weren't here for the original ceremony. Dennis Eckersley and Kurt Young. Ricky Henderson checking in with his old teammates. It's always good to see Kurt Young, who's wearing the orange and black now. Eck came in to say hi to his old catcher, Ray Fosse.
You don't have to say old. Come on, man.
That ain't right. That ain't right, Foss.
He's only 77. That's just a couple of years ago.
It's Kurt Young wearing number 43, and boy, you're so familiar with the 41. Seeing him with the Athletics. 29, you saw him as a pitcher. He'll be representing the green and gold tomorrow night, part of his group.
0-1 to Lowry. Opportunity for the A's to tie it up. Lowry toward right. McCutcheon has it, and that's the second out. And now it's up to Chris Davis. He's in a 2-out hit.
Number 2, Chris Davis.
Davis with a double and a fly ball to left field.
Takes a double or the base hit right now. 2-run home run would sound great, but we saw Buster Posey tie the game with a base hit to center field with 2 outs. Runner at second base. Runner at third base where McCutcheon went.
First pitch to Davis is a strike on the outside corner.
You can see Rodriguez make the adjustment. Katie hunt the heater earlier in the game, and Rodriguez going to go with that wrinkle first pitch, try to keep these guys off balance second and third time through.
Curve, and it spins high. Dallas, want to ask you about something that with Trevino warming up that Posey does. He sets his target late. Ray, you were a catcher. I don't know if you did that, if you set it early. Dallas, did you like a late target? I mean, and I've noticed this with Posey. He sets a very late target.
Well, I think what we're dealing with right now as well as the runner on second base, you don't want to give away location.
Gotcha.
But I think for Buster Posey, he's just trying to make sure that the visual is consistent for the pitcher.
McCutcheon over, says he's got it, and he does. So the A's strand Piscotty at second base, and we are on to the 7th. pitcher's duel. Entry here. Look at this guy coming in from left field. He reminds me of a young Eric Burns.
Well, the real Eric Burns is going to be at the finish line and shows exactly. And remember, in the 50th anniversary introduction, he sprinted from center field, and that wasn't easy because of the wrinkle in the carpet. But watch the end here. Yeah, the big heads say, yeah, we can beat you, but here comes Eric. But watch the finish, and this is the real Eric Burns right here.
Oh,
that did not feel good.
Better check that solar plexus.
I wish we...
This is not healthy. I'm sorry.
Oh, Bertie, quads on fire. Oh, look at him check up like a golf ball.
Phone flying.
Oh, that's a yard sale, folks.
He's going to run a triathlon on Sunday.
I'm going to run to the refrigerator.
Thank you very much. Wow. If you really want to see something, check out Eric Burns' Tipsy Thursdays.
Tipsy Thursdays.
You get tipsy all right if you watch this Tipsy Thursday. I wish they had to highlight when he was playing left field here and he ran into the sidewall down the left field line going for a foul ball that ran out of foul territory in a heartbeat, and he hit the wall and just came straight down as Petit is loosening. Straight down. Everybody went out to see if he's all right. He said, what are you doing? He says, you just have to know how to fall.
Probably some truth to that.
He said, I fell out of trees. You just have to know how to fall. That's all.
Hit well to center. Fowler going back. He's going to get there, and he turns around and he makes the catch. So out number one here in the top of the 7th inning. A beautiful night here in the Bay Area. And a good ball game so far.
To Dallas's point about going out for the 7th inning, and that is what Edwin Jackson is doing. So Buchter up last inning, Petit in this inning, but Jackson on the mound, and his pitch count just at 90. And if he can throw the extra inning, 7 innings for a starter, does help the bullpen tremendously.
Well, this sends a message to the rest of the starting staff as well, Foss. And that's, I think, not only the experience from Edwin Jackson that these young starters can pick up off of, but these examples set without a word being said. Get back out there. Who cares about pitch count at this point? You're feeling good. Let that manager know that you can go out there and you can continue to hold the rope for the team.
And the good thing also with that so-called quality start stat, 6-3, which is not that great. But in the case of Jackson, he could have said, hey, I'm done. I got my quality start. 6 innings, 2 runs, but I think this is great. He does set an example of going back out for the 7th inning.
And that one's hit very high to right field. Piscotti near the wall. Gone.
That's a bad count for Edwin Jackson. It's been proven tonight.
And as Sandoval touches home plate, Bob Melvin up and out of the dugout, and he's going to the bullpen.
2-0 count, and there it is again. 90 miles an hour, the inner half of the plate. And like Jones, similar count, same result.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Out of the ball game, a couple of solo home runs. 3 runs total, 93 pitches for Edwin Jackson. So it'll be Yusmeiro Petit taking over with 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. First pitch, a strike to Ryder Jones, who hit that home run in the 5th. 4-2, good ERA, 3.20. Lots of innings pitched for Yusmeiro Petit. So 44 appearances, 59 innings. Just what the A's signed him for, and he's been just about as good as the A's figured he would be.
Well, the nice thing about Petit that he can throw multiple innings. You'd have to wonder if Bob Melvin was thinking with Edwin Jackson, hitter to hitter, not expecting the home run, and if he got a base hit, Jackson might have come out for Petit to finish it up, but he did not. Solo home run. He gave up 2. Edwin Jackson did against the Tribe Cleveland whenever he pitched here against Cleveland, and 2 tonight.
Right down the middle, Jones watched it zip by, and that is strike 3 call.
Petit's a guy who's not going to come in and blow your doors off or devastate you with any one pitch or breaking ball or anything like that. It's about keeping you off balance, staying 1 pitch ahead. Here he gets away with the mislocation fastball inner third against the lefty. But it's about a mindset for Petit, you know, and that's the one thing that I've really taken away watching this man go to work over the past few years, is the game situation doesn't really affect him at all. Up by 2, down by 2, he knows his job really never changes. It's an effort to keep the ball club in a position to win the game, and that's what he has done more times than not.
Facing Hundley with 2 outs. And now it's a quick 0-2. Hundley DHing tonight. Ground out, strikeout. High fastball, no chance as Hundley chased it. So a couple of strikeouts for Yusmeiro Petit. 7th inning stretch time coming up.
Sports California is brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by California's Great America. It's amazing at California's Great America. With roller coasters and water slides, all for one price.
Bottom of the 7th inning, 1-0 count to Matt Olson, who'll be followed by Chapman and Canna. And did that hit Olson? Yes, it did. So, good start for the A's. Kind of just handed a base runner.
You'll take it. You can see Ole, pretty fleet of foot for a big fella. Does his best Chris Angel levitation impression. Still caught a little bit of the leather there. Take a free pass.
Especially on a curveball to the back foot.
Yeah.
It sneaks by him, so.
So action in the Giants bullpen. Reyes Maranta.
He was their Friday night superstar last Friday. Bases loaded, nobody out. Bumgarner pitching. Upset. Maranta got through the inning without a blemish. Difference maker in the game.
No doubt about it.
So Chappie hit a home run fast.
Chapman hit by pitch and then robbed of a hit by McCutchen in right field. And that one runs well off the plate.
And that's something else you've noticed from Garrett Rodriguez as he's starting to get traffic on the base path. He stays away from that 93, 94 that he can go out and touch if he needs to. More of the 88 to 91. Try to sink it with that two-seamer. Keep these guys on the ground. Look for Chapman to try to see him up in the zone.
And that one is a strike. Well, Rodriguez's last appearance was that appearance in relief that Ray talked about, where he came in an extra inning game, pitched 3 innings, and actually got the win. But that was just 3 innings, 42 pitches, and that was on the 11th of July. Swing and a miss. A mighty swing by Matt Chapman. He just pulled off that one a little bit.
It's called a hanging breaking ball, and his eyes lit up, but no contact. Hanger upstairs, and Chapman just trying to hit the 2-run home run, but pulled off just enough that he couldn't make contact.
Olson fairly short lead at first.
I think the one thing that makes Matt Chapman a good hitter is the fact that he can wait. He's so strong. And in the case of 2 strikes, he fouled that ball back to the right side, but you see him wait a long time, even with some pretty good fastballs thrown at him.
1-2 pitch, popped up foul. It looks like, Dallas, I don't know if you're seeing it, Ray, but it looks like all of a sudden Rodriguez, the pitches are not as well located. He may be getting tired.
Not quite the finish, and usually one of the first signs of that is the loop in the breaking ball. You start to see it up a little more. He's not able to get the arm up on top with quite the frequency and efficiency as he is earlier in the game. You see that breaking ball start to spin instead of bite. Green and gold could be in business.
1-2 pitch, line drive. McCutchen's right there, and he's got it. So that's pretty good at bat by Matt Chapman, but nothing to show for it.
Now, the 1989 World Series championship team is going to be back in Oakland tomorrow, and you should be also. Join Canseco, Jose Canseco, Ricky Henderson, Carney Lansford, Terry Steinbach, Dave Stewart, Mike Gallego, saw Dennis Eckersley, and many, many more. For fans coming out of the game, autograph sessions will be sold at the farm in right field when gates open at 4:30. Fans will be able to purchase a ticket, allowing them to get 1 autograph from a group of 3 players signing at that time. Learn more at athletics.com/battle. And here he comes.
All right, so Maranta coming in. We got a pitching change. Bottom of the 7th. Giants leading 3-1.
may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So 3-1 lead, and the A's threatening here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 6 1/3 innings for Derek Rodriguez. 3 hits and 1 run, no walks, 5 strikeouts, and he finishes with 93 pitches. So the A's will now see Reyes Moranta, very hard-throwing right-hander. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and brake expert. So this will be a good matchup. Moranta against Canna. The only thing with Moranta, he throws hard. He can lose the strike zone occasionally. We'll see if that happens here.
Well, he threw the slider first pitch. Not surprising to see that, because he does have a high octane fastball. But Sunday, he came in relief of Suarez and gave up the home run to Piscotty. That was over in San Francisco. Hung a slider to him.
There's the fastball at 97, and it's a quick 0-2 to Canna.
You come into the game with 97, you like to see guys start hitters off with that breaking ball. A lot of times guys come in the bullpen 97, 98 plus. Guys at the dish like to hunt that first pitch heater. That's what's really made Moranta so impactful.
This one's popped up. Foul territory, and Sandoval grabs it. So on an 0-2 pitch, Canna fouls out. So 2 outs. It's a good number for you, Ray Fosse.
Yep.
Dallas Brave. 45,606. That's 45,606. It is a sellout, and it's the first sellout at the Coliseum this season. So a good atmosphere tonight. And it'll be bigger tomorrow night. Mount Davis will be open tomorrow night, and the A's are going to try to set the all-time Coliseum attendance record for baseball. Can they beat 55,989? We'll find out tomorrow night. Right to Hanson. Moranta does his job. He gets the final 2 outs, and we have played 7 innings here in front of a sellout crowd. 3-1 San Francisco. Bay Bridge Series trophy. Local artists along with NBC Sports and the Oakland A's are featuring works dedicated to the fiercest rivalry in the Bay, the Battle of the Bay Art Show. It's running now through Sunday right here at the Coliseum Championship Plaza. Tickets at athletics.com/ battle. So, big crowd. See if the A's can do what they do best, come back in the late innings. Here's some of the art on display today in Championship Plaza. Good stuff. Local artist.
Really cool. I actually got to sit down and talk with the guy right there. That image right there that you just saw of Chapman on the tarp. Paul Braun knocks that out with, guess what, Foss? Delaware mud.
Nice. Delaware mud.
The mud used to rub up baseballs before the game and in between innings by clubbies everywhere. That is what Paul Braun uses to make magic on the canvas.
Hey, and the word I like from you is clubbies, not umpires.
No. That, I don't know what the rest of the world, what kind of impression y'all have been under, but it's the clubbies. Those are the ones that roll up their sleeves and literally and figuratively get their hands dirty to make it happen.
Wait, Joe West isn't rubbing up baseballs?
Mikey
I
Thalblom.
thought all these years, I thought Big Joe was rubbing up the baseballs, getting here a little early.
No, and if you're a clubby, good way to get yourself a tip.
Duggar goes after the first pitch, and he's got a base hit. So, 2 on, nobody out.
How about that shot right
That's
there?
awesome.
Matt Chapman extended over the tarp. A nice memory for A's fans everywhere. And a lot of these artists, something to remember, are available for artwork to be commissioned. So get in line, because I've already talked to our man.
All right. So 2 on, nobody out, an obvious bunt situation. Booker up again. Matt Chapman giving his fellow infielders the signs. He's in on the grass, and so is Olsen. Keep an eye on Hansen. He has very good speed. And he bunts it, and it's foul. Hansen kind of squared to bunt late.
Yeah, if you're bunting, square around and let the world know. They should know already anyway.
Absolutely.
And
guys try to get cute with these sacrifice bunts.
Now, I mean, you want to bunt to third base. You just get it out and bunt to third. Angle of the bat, kind of jabbed at it. Pitch was up high, trying to get on top of it, but Chapman did the best thing, aggressively going over his Petit, but get the ball in foul territory and knock it in fair. A foul, make sure it stays there. But if you're going to bunt, why not? I mean, the infield's playing at the corners, expecting it. Just do it. Just do it properly.
Pulls the bat back this time, and the pitch is high. So 1-1 the count. A lot of speed on the bases with Hernandez and Duggar.
Well, the nice thing that Petit's showing his ability to get off the mound and cover third base, which, depending if the ball is bunted in that direction, and Chapman can see that he's going to get it, and he can get back to third, but you cannot waste any time, especially with the speed.
No, and that's probably why they are not Oakland, why they are not running a bunt play, all of the wheel, the speed on the base paths.
And that one bunted. Petit has it, and he's going to go to first. So he may have had a play at third, but he took the sure out at first. And so Hansen gets the sacrifice down.
The one thing they talk about early in the game, take the sure out. Sometimes late, though, when you're already down by 2 and you have a chance. Petit got the ball with Chapman going to third. I mean, really, it was perfect. Spin and throw. You see Chapman going back to the bag. The runner there, he could have gone to third. Could have gone to third, gotten the lead runner. But it's not like he's opening up a big inning in the 7th, make it the 8th inning, because they're already down 2 with 2 more opportunities. And if there's ever a time to try to get the out at third, that was it.
So the A's bring the infield in for Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen takes a pitch that's a little bit low.
Now take a look at his feet here. You'll see Petit. You see that right foot, how it hits back instead of coming forward. If he would have planted that right foot forward, he would have been anticipating making that throw to third. Instead, he plants that right foot behind himself, giving him a nice foundation to push off of and throw to first. He committed to first before he made the play.
And a fastball right there for a strike. 1-1 the count.
Big guy and Booker, righty and lefty warming up, and I love this situation. Look where Chapman, everybody else, even with the bag, Chapman said, hey, got the arm. He says my range is better. I can block balls and see if that helps him there, because everybody else on the grass, Chapman has the ability with his speed. Balls in front, balls to his side, and of course thrown across the diamond. Cuts down some range.
Well, it's interesting, Chapman doing that, because it certainly does give him more range, and he has a better arm, but I think it also allows the runner at third to get a bigger lead.
Get a bigger lead, but Chapman, there are times that he can make up for the speed, but going on contact, that's the key. And if he does go on contact, then he has to make a quick decision what he's going to do. And he can see him because he's right in front of him, and with one out, more likely will be going on contact.
Petit needs a strikeout. And that one's hit in the air. It's going to be deep enough. Hernandez tagging, so Hernandez will score from third. Duggar goes to second. It's a sacrifice fly for McCutchen, and that gives the Giants a 4-1 lead.
And Bob Melvin's going to go to his lefty, Buchter, but amazing the off-speed pitch with 2 strikes allowed McCutchen to stay back and get it deep enough. So he scored a run, he's driven in a run, and that was a big one.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake expert. Buchter coming in. Really good ERAs. Of course, Trinan an all-star. Trevino could have been 1.22. Buchter's in there now. Petit 3.20. Pagan pitching much better, 3.54, and it's one of the reasons why the A's bullpen is one of the best in baseball. But it helps to have your 9th inning guy and your 8th inning guy be dominant. Anything after that, it's almost gravy after that. And a lot of other guys have pitched extremely well down there. Buchter's healthy again. And he'll face Crawford. So lefty on lefty, a runner at third, 2 outs. So this is a big out to get for Buchter. You don't want to let this run score. Crawford is 0 for 3. He has popped to right and hit a couple weak ground balls to first. Duggar dancing around at third, so Buchter steps off.
Well, he sees Chapman off the bag. He has a left-handed pitcher and trying to get a pitcher to flinch and cause a balk. See where Chapman is playing off the line, so Duggar can get down the line from third.
First pitch is a good fastball, 92 miles an hour. Buchter's fastball, whatever the velocity is, it always looks faster than the velocity set. It's a little sneaky, I think.
Well, it plays up because he's got that short stroke from the left side. It's quick on you. You don't have a long arm loop to track the baseball. He hides it well.
And that one at 89, but it was past Crawford. Melanson warming up, right-hander.
That's right there. That's Buchter's ability to cut the baseball ever so slightly. Doesn't create a lot of depth on that pitch, which tilt is usually a byproduct of, or angular movement, more lateral.
In the dirt, blocked nicely by Lucroy, saves a run.
Well, with the runner at third base, Jonathan Lucroy, if he calls a breaking ball, he's got to know, get down and block it, and he does it nicely. And you have to think with that block, and that's a breaking ball, trying to get Crawford to chase, which he did not. But I have to think Crawford's got to be thinking opposite field against the tough lefty.
And fouls it back. Astros still leading the Angels 3-0. game in the 6th inning down in Anaheim. And Seattle has a 2-1 lead over the White Sox in the 6th. One-two pitch. And there's a soft broken bat single into right field. But it's going to get the job done as Duggar comes in to score. And that looked like an off-speed pitch that was not where Buchter wanted it. And that's going to be it for the lefty. So Buchter faces one hitter, gives up the RBI single, and now it's 5-1. Pagan coming in.
Spend a day out with Thomas through the big trees at Growing Camp.
All right. Score doesn't matter to those two. The score is Giants 5, A's 1, top of the 8th inning. So it is Pagan, the new pitcher. 2-0, 3.54 ERA for Emilio Pagan. So he'll just try to get this inning over with and get back into the dugout. He'll face Posey, who's 1 for 3. RBI single in the 4th. A's will have Lucroy, Simeon, and Piscotty in the bottom of the 8th inning. It looks like they will face the right-hander Melanson. Check swing, foul into Giants dugout.
One of the problems a team that scores a lot late has to deal with, that there are times you're going to run up against a pitching staff that is going to dominate late in the game, and A's have been miraculous when it's been the scoring runs late in ball games, but it's not really a formula. I think, Kavich, you said on the road, it's best sometimes to score early instead of waiting till the late.
Nice to do once in a while.
Yeah, exactly, because you cannot always depend on having a club to come back the way the A's have the first half of the season. Our first 97 games of the season.
Crawford with a decent lead at first. And fastball that was past Posey in the count 0-2, 94 miles an hour. As Ray mentioned earlier, Posey had a cortisone shot in his right hip right after the game on Sunday. It's been bothering him for, sounds like, a couple months. Guess you never really know if it's going to help or not. Sometimes it helps a lot, sometimes not as much. A little cortisone shot.
But if it hits, you know it.
It's a long needle.
Yeah, it's one of those that all of a sudden zap, and it's something that can work. Mr. Posey would be the one to determine that.
Yeah, probably tomorrow morning.
That's right.
Yeah, that is not a fun procedure.
Nope.
At all.
High fastball, popped up foul.
Well, one thing he did in his last at bat, the line drive he hit the center field, looked like he cranked it up and he was leading off the inning. And we've seen a lot of opposite field hitting by Posey throughout his great career. Yeah, but looked like on that one he gave it everything he had. Line drive to center field, just hit it the wrong direction. If you have the ability to drive in runs with big 2-out hits, and Posey did it, Crawford has done it this inning. He started the game with a good, fundamentally sound game. That was a double. Got him to third, got him in.
So the count even at 2-2. Single, single, sacrifice bunt, sacrifice fly, single. That's the way this inning has gone.
Even better and worse than that, 9-1-2.
Yep.
Started with a base hit by Hernandez, the 9th place hitter.
That one bounced foul on a fastball at 95 miles an hour. Pagan is the third pitcher in this inning. Petit got the final 2 outs of the 7th and then came out for the 8th. Buchter followed, and now Pagan. After Edwin Jackson went 6 1/3. High fastball fouled straight back.
Heck of a battle going on here between Pagan and Posey. See, with 2-2 here, Posey's shown an interest in that fastball up in the zone. See if Pagan can't go a little higher than high. Maybe try to sneak a piece of cheese past Buster.
Yeah, Posey's a tough hitter to strike out.
Yes.
That's one of the things throughout his career. He has found a way to make contact, and it may not be hard, but he does make contact.
Yeah, he does not like to strike out.
Posey's asking the home plate umpire Pat Holberg's count, I think, and that did take it full to 3-2. So one of those shots in the backdrop, you saw the Dodgers defeated the Brewers 6-4. That was the first game played by Manny Machado, new Dodger.
There it goes. And a high fastball is popped up. Piscotty's coming in. Still coming in. He's got it. So Pagan wins the battle. A couple of runs for San Francisco. Giants lead 5-1. Bottom of the 8th coming up. All right, here's tonight's game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 5-7-0 for the Giants, 1-3-0 for the Athletics. Derek Rodriguez, 1 run, pitched into the 7th inning. Edwin Jackson, 3 earned runs in 6 1/3 innings. A couple of home runs by the Giants. They don't hit a lot, but they've hit 2 tonight. So the A's with just 3 hits, so they'll get a couple more shots at the Giants bullpen. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and brake expert. So it's the veteran Mark Melanson who's pitching in his 17th game. No record, 2.40 ERA.
Projected to be the closer for the Giants. Did not pan out. Injuries, but maybe if he'd given Kurt Young 41, it'd have been a different story. Coaches usually don't get numbers that they've won. Usually take whatever you can get.
And be ready to change.
That's right. Kurt Young took 43, and
first pitch to Luke Croy is lined right into the glove of Jones. A shot, and Jones never moved. 1-away.
Yeah, the Ricky Henderson bobbleheads giveaway is here on Sunday. What better way to celebrate the Man of Steel than a giveaway featuring Ricky's Fast Feet? Grab your tickets at athletics.com/battle. For the finale of the Battle of the Bay, presented by Gilead Sciences, celebrate Oakland's national treasure, Ricky Henderson, with the best bobbleheads around. Athletics.com/battle today. Those are neat. I finally saw how.
Did you see it?
Saw those legs are moving. That's pretty. I mean, they're fast legs too.
I like it.
Oof.
Marcus Semien trying to get aboard. Marcus is 0 for 3. Strikeout, fly ball to right field, pop out to the shortstop. The A's 3 hits today. Davis, a leadoff double in the 2nd. Fowler, 2-out single in the 2nd. And Piscotty, the 1-out double in the 6th inning. That one off of something, and it shoots into left field. Marcus is going to try for 2nd, and he's going to make it. I don't know what that hit.
Wow.
It looked like it hit Melanson, but he seems to be okay, and the ball just ricocheted all the way into left field.
I've never seen a ball go
hit
that
the
far.
rubber or something like that.
You take a look right here. Keep your eyes peeled on the feet of Mark Melanson. Right off the inside of that left foot. It kind of hits the inside ball of his foot, if you will, and just ricochets violently out into shallow left, ultimately left field, where Gorgis Hernandez is forced to make the play. And heads-up job on Marcus Semien to keep it motoring on into 2nd. Never taking a chance.
Bumper pool. Hernandez hesitated. He didn't know what was going on. But it's almost like a glancing blow off the foot of Melanson.
Yeah, I don't think it got him
No,
square.
no, it's kind of glancing blow. It just kept going. Never seen a ball go that far.
So it's a double. Piscotty drives in the right. And McCutchen seems to be in the right spot the entire night. Simeon's going to hustle for 3rd, and he's going to make it.
But look at the left foot. Inside. Toe, ankle, left field.
Could have been a little calf in there, maybe.
Yeah.
But he seems to be okay.
Shoe manufacturer is extremely happy with that shot.
Yes, indeed. So here's Lowry. A's need a 2-out hit.
That's something they have not gotten tonight, and they've had opportunities and runners in scoring position, but you know, the one run they scored was a sac fly. Line drive, but a sac fly.
Want to know the count to Lowry, who's 0 for 3. Watson, the lefty, starting to throw. A's are 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position.
A's were 0 for 16 in the first 2 games of the series in San Francisco, and then 5 for 9 in the Sunday game.
Finally got it going.
Yeah, 5 for 25 in a 3-game series, but won 2 out of 3.
1-0 pitch is low. 2-0. For Jed Lowry hits it. Crawford shaded up the middle. 2-0 pitch is outside with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, if Jed can get on base, to Lynn Kuiper's greatest saying, home runs are good because it can get you back in the game
Quickly.
And Jed gets on base, gives Chris Davis a chance, then Matt Olson, and got some big boppers in the middle of the lineup.
Pitch right on the outside corner for a strike.
We have seen Jed at times swing 3-0, but he did not want to do it this time, knowing that base runners are important.
Melanson gets the side. Sending the runner at third. 3-1 pitch. And just missed outside on a check swing.
Jed Lowry going to put the brakes on. Pitch just down and just out.
Speaking of putting the brakes on.
Good take, Jed. Let's go.
I think the real legitimate question there is, what time did that gentleman enter the parking lot today? So great opportunity here with Davis up. 2 on, 2 out. First pitch is bounced foul. That one is hung on the inside part of the plate for Chris Davis.
You saw the replay of the pitch that Jed Lowry took for ball 4, and it's almost like when he threw the bat, he wanted to have a string to pull it back just in case the umpire called it a strike. But he did call it a ball, and A's have a chance. Jed's got a very good eye, knows the strike zone, and took a pitch that was just off the plate. The dueling Let's Go Giants / A's.
0-1 pitch is drilled foul down the right field line. Well, it's one of our favorite things about the Babe Ruth series is when the chance to start.
Right field will. You know, he's there.
So 0-2 to Chris Davis. 1 for 3 tonight. Big curve, and Davis laid off. That's got to be a tough pitch to lay off. Big overhand curve.
And especially the fact that it's a pretty good pitch to lay off. A very good pitch. And to see the spin, you hope that it's going to break out of the strike zone, which it did. So he's gone soft, hard, soft in 3 pitches. And that is a slider sign if he's using 3 for the slider.
McCutchen hustling in. McCutchen's got it. So Melanson gets out of it. A's strand a pair. Still 5-1 after 8.
Drive of the game. Jonesy took a ride on this one, and Ryder Jones hit the foul pole way up high. Launch angle off the bat hard and hit the foul pole hard. And that is a home run, a foul pole in fair territory. And that's what Ryder Jones did, our Chrysler drive of the game. And that was the first run, actually the second run, that gave the Giants a lead that they have not relinquished.
So Jeremy Bleish comes in. He made his major league debut last weekend. He comes on here on a Friday night against the Giants again. Those are the numbers from AAA as he's facing Sandoval. Ryder Jones to follow, and then Nick Hundley. So 6, 7, and 8. J.B. Wendelken warming up. J.B. Wendelken. Hit high to left field. Canna's back. Canna is going to play it high off the wall. And Sandoval is going to have a double. Very towering shot.
Wow. 2 strikes. And for a hitter to be able to swing a pitch like that, Mark Canna went as far as he could and realized he really couldn't jump that high. And Sandoval with a double. All the while, let's see, today is the 20th. That means in 10 days, the Red Sox send him another chance.
Yep. Yep. And then another one after that.
And then another one after that, and they just keep coming.
And next year's
Giants just keep riding that pro-rated
500.
500 grand.
So Jones will try to execute. One and one the count. Astros still leading 3-0 over the Angels in the 8th inning. Mariners still leading the White Sox 2-1 in the 7th.
Geico had a no-hitter for a while.
He did.
Yes,
He's given up 1 hit.
Might have been a good break for him to forget about the first part of the season.
Yep. Wipe his slate clean. Verlander and Garrett Cole and the rest of the gang have done just fine. Get Dallas Keuchel back online, and that presents a tall task for the rest of the division.
Yeah. I don't think the AL West. Do we need Keuchel to get
No. And you know, your point about the number of games the Astros are playing on the road, they're well fitted to play anywhere. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter where they play. They're pretty good. I mean, you have a starting staff that they do, and really a bunch of players that it doesn't matter to them where they are, how many runs they're down.
Now, when you win Game 7 of the World Series on the road, you're not worried about how many road games.
That's right. Home field advantage. Nope. He's got tomorrow. Madison Bumgarner. Where's his? Is he going to take the mound on his horse tomorrow? He just looks like that type of guy.
Yes. Well, let's see. 2014, Giants won in Kansas City. 2015, Kansas City won in New York. 2016, Cubs won in Cleveland. 2017,
that's right.
Astros won at Dodger Stadium.
Home field advantage. Got to have it. But in Cleveland in 17, home field advantage was for the Cubs because the Cubs fans took over Progressive Field.
Swing and a miss. So Bleish gets a big strikeout.
Well, what we're seeing from Bleish is he's dropping down against the lefties, going to that breaking ball. You can see there, typically low 3/4, but there he drops it down even more. You can see the lefties. Jones just running out of bat.
So pitching change. Wendelken coming in.
streak in baseball history, 20 straight wins during the 2002 season that propelled the A's to the playoffs. Join us as we continue our 50th anniversary celebration with the return of the streak team on Saturday, August the 18th. That's against the Astros, 105. First 15,000 fans will receive a Streak Team t-shirt presented by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Grab your 50th anniversary memory. For tickets, head to athletics.com.
So here's J.B. Wendelken facing Nick Hundley with a runner at second and 1 out. First pitch is way outside. So Dallas, Ray, I got to. Wendelken's numbers from AAA, 1 start, all the rest out of the bullpen, 1 and 2, 3.46 ERA.
Yes.
But I saw something today, and I'm going off our game here a little bit. Did you guys see the stat on Joey Votto?
Yes,
Dallas, I know you did.
Yep. Yeah. Pop-ups.
Was that not one of the most unbelievable things you've ever read?
It's not 1 year. It's a lot of years. That's the amazing thing.
I'm going to tell our viewers what it is and then let it soak in. Since 2010, Joey Votto from the Cincinnati Reds has popped out to an infielder a total of 7 times.
Some years 0.
7 times since 2010, a pop-up to an infielder.
That's 7 times over the course of 7.5 baseball seasons.
Yes. Total.
Yeah, and there's another stat I'm pretty sure of. If I'm correct, Joey Votto has never fouled a ball off into the stands in the right side either. He's never pulled a foul ball into the stands.
I can believe that.
On the right side.
He has never popped out to a catcher, a pitcher, or a first baseman. Never. In his since 2010.
Well, you watch his approach, chokes up, and probably the ball gets about 2 feet from him and decides what he's going to do.
Yeah. And that in itself is an art. You talk about guys and fighting pitches off, extending in bats, spoiling pitches. There's an art to being able to spoil a pitch that you just can't handle with authority, but you know is a strike. That's not luck. That is a skill. That is a skill set.
That's why Wade Boggs won so many batting championships playing in Boston, because he could do that.
He was the same way.
He was the master at fouling off pitches, and you know the people over the third base dugout got more foul ball opportunities than anybody, just because he would wait, foul it, flick it, then wait for a good one that he could hit.
Swing and a miss. Good fastball from Wendelken. So that's 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning.
Wendelken has a very good fastball, and he shows it on this one and goes upstairs, as Dallas pointed out earlier, try to elevate, especially with a good high-octane fastball, upper 90s. Very difficult for anybody to catch up to, and especially for this young man, Hundley, who can't wait to get behind the plate. 3 strikeouts is not what you want to do as a DH.
So here's Gorkis Hernandez. Well, I'm glad to hear that you guys found that as unbelievable as I did.
It's impressive. And what does he have, about a career 500 on-base percentage? You know, really. And I mentioned John Olerud earlier. Well, they criticize and been critical of him. Hit more home runs. Why? Drives in runs.
So Hernandez grounds out, and one last shot for the Athletics. They need a big bottom of the 9th inning.
California Ford dealers, Daddy would be proud because his son did a great job tonight. Derek Rodriguez made his first start against the Athletics, and very impressive, especially after he got the lead. He might have tapered off a little bit late, but finished very strongly. A tip of the cap. That's a very veteran move for a young pitcher to say to the umpire, nice job. He watched Jamie Moyer. Jamie Moyer did that every start.
I saw that too. I was like, that's not bad for a rookie.
That's right. And he learned. I mean,
Good
that's
idea.
maybe Daddy said, hey, always appreciate what the home plate umpire does, and tip your cap to him, and then maybe get a pitch or two the next time you take the mound. But yeah, Jamie Moyer was the best at that. And more pitchers should be that way.
So Olson, Chapman, and Canna here against Tony Watson. Tony Watson's had a good year, but his outing against the A's last Saturday, it may have been his worst outing of the year. He really struggled, gave up the big home run to Canna. Ended up taking the loss.
Well, that was after Derek Holland was lights out, coming to the lead for the game. So Larger started.
So 1-2 to Matt Olson, who is 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch leading off the 7th inning, but he just could not get him going. And that one on the inside corner. Strike 3 call. That's a tough at bat because Watson got the outside corner and the inside corner.
Well, that's what Matt Olson said. If you're going to give him one side, that pitch was off the plate inside. And
Now batting third baseman.
Pat Holberg
Number 26.
made the call.
Matt Chapman.
Don't agree with him, but he's the one that made the call. What I didn't like to see there, he looked at the scoreboard, see how many outs there were. That's what an indicator is. You have an indicator? I always like to wonder if plate umpires, if that hand has an indicator in it.
First pitch, a strike on the outside corner to Chapman. Chapman was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. Since then, a fly ball to right and then a line out to right. Center field, but playable for Duggar. 2 away. Make sure you join us tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Madison Bumgarner for the Giants, Trevor Cahill for the Athletics. Coverage starts at 5:30 right here in NBC Sports California with A's pregame live. First pitch 6:05 and a wonderful pregame celebration of the 1989 World Series Athletics. So you're going to have great pregame. You're going to have a great game. And you're going to have maybe, just maybe, the largest baseball crowd ever here at the Coliseum. Not the A's night tonight. Tony Watson makes quick work of the A's in the bottom of the 9th in game 1 of the 2nd installment of the Bay Bridge series. Goes to the Giants. So Derek Rodriguez picks up the win, and San Francisco gets their 53rd win of the year. 2 hours and 47 minutes was your time of game. Sellout crowd of 45,606 saw it. Final score, the Giants over the Athletics 5-1. Let's now go to the studio where Brody Brazil is standing by with A's postgame live.